Hello and welcome to Rising Stars. Today we are doing another art activity. Now, this is one where you brush the paper with oil and then paint over it, okay, and see what happens. So you're going to need paper, all right, and you're going to need paint brushes. For older children, you can use brushes as long as these ones, okay. And then for the nursery age group, you'll need to use shorter brushes, okay, like these ones. This is my son's one, so I won't be using it in this activity, but these are the ones that you will need for children in the nursery age group, like your 2-year-olds, your 3-year-olds, your 4 and 5-year-olds, okay. And even for reception, these are good even for reception class children, okay. And these are more suitable for year 1 to year 6, all right, and beyond. And then you're going to need some paints. So we've always said that 3 to 4 colors is good because you have at least 4 children per table, so they need to be able to share among themselves, okay. So we've got white, we've got yellow, we've got red, we've got blue, and try and always make them primary colors, because you can always mix 2 different primary colors to make a secondary color, all right. Like with the blue, you can mix it with yellow to make green, and then the blue and the red, you can mix it together to make purple. And then if you want a lighter blue, you can mix the blue and the white. If you want a lighter if you want orange, you mix the orange and the yellow, okay. And if you want a lighter yellow, you mix it with white. If you want a lighter red, you mix it with white. But if you mix it with a lot of white, you get pink. You get a pinkish color, okay. So that is the reason for having that amount of paint. And then of course you're going to need some oil, some cooking oil, okay. We've already got different kinds of brushes here. And then you're going to need a place to put your oil in, okay. So you need you can use a bowl like this, okay. We don't use this to eat anymore, it's the activity bowl. You can use a plate as well that you no longer use for food, or if you are in an art class, you normally use a paint palette. Now don't mind this paint palette, we've been using it to do some painting activities. It needs washing, okay. So I'm going to be using the paint palette instead of the bowl today, because it already needs washing anyway. The paint palette does, okay. So you just put a little bit of oil, and you need 2 different brushes because one is larger and the other one is smaller. The larger one, you use it to paint, to brush the paper with oil, okay. So you just dip and you brush, okay. So you can put something underneath the paper, to avoid damaging the table, but because what we're using here is going to go in the bin afterwards, so I'm not really fussed. But there's a second paper under it. Okay, so you can use the mess mat for painting, and children normally would wear aprons as well. Okay, so if you've got aprons at home, or maybe an outfit that they won't really need to wear outdoors, because these are water-based colors. These are water-based paints. Okay, so they wash out easily. But even that, then children often wear apron when they're doing art activities. Okay, the younger children in nursery, because they don't want their clothes to get messy. Okay, so we've brushed. Okay, even the edges of the paper. So while the children are doing the brushing of the oil on paper, they have to do it themselves. You don't need to help them, you just supervise them, okay, by pouring, maybe helping them to pour it into the paint palettes or whatever other container they'll use if you're improvising. Okay. But when it comes to, and then also you'd also need to help them to, the younger ones, to pour paint, okay, in the spaces where they're going to be using the paint, they're going to be taking the paint from. Okay, so in paint palettes you put paint like that. Okay, so you can talk to the children about what the paper looks like, and if they want to touch the oil, they can touch it, and then you ask them how it feels. Especially younger children, they like to do that. Okay, so you ask them how the oil feels, okay, if they touch it, and then if they want to smell it, they can smell it. This is vegetable oil, so this is vegetable oil, so it will smell like sunflower or corn. Yeah, so and then they might say it's shiny, because it's all part of learning. It's sensory. It helps also with their sensory development, and this also helps with their physical development, because they're going to be holding brushes like in their pincer grasp, and then some of them may hold it in their palm grasp, like in their palms, like that. Okay, so now that you've brushed the paint, the paper with paint, you can start to put the colors on, okay, and see what happens. You see? So at this point, when they start painting with, they start putting the paint on the paper, you can also get some water in either paper cup or a cup, you know, a disposable cup or a cup, or the paint cups. Now, we don't have paint cups to hand, but we do have disposable cups, and we do have cups that they no longer use for drinking. Okay, so like that. So we'll put some water in there, or you can use disposable cups like these ones. Okay, just to help them to just to help wash out the paint. Okay, if they're only using 2 paint brushes, it helps them to wash out the paint so that the different colors doesn't get mixed, okay, into the brush. But because I've got more than one brush here, I'm just going to use the different brushes. Okay, so it won't mix up the paint in different colors. Okay, so remember, as when they're little, when children are younger, they don't necessarily have to draw specific things. Okay, you just provide them with the resources and allow them to be creative. Okay, unless you set a specific picture that they need to draw, and even when they're doing that, you just allow them to free flow. Okay, so that's the white. Mixed it in with a bit of yellow. I'm gonna go for the red. Some children will tell you the specific things that they've done, but most times they'll say, I don't remember. It's just a picture. Okay. Now the last color, which is the blue. I'll put it here. Now you leave the painting to dry. Once they've finished with their painting, you leave the painting to dry, and then you can hang the painting on your settings window we're going to do it in our settings window. So I'm going to hang this one, okay, on our settings window once it's dry.